Hi everyone, it's Nikki and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be making this two-color hat together. So it's single crochet. The pattern is pretty easy and the two colors is awesome because you could make it sports team colors or school colors, or you could do like how I did and use two colors that don't contrast very much. And I love the way that looks. So if you haven't carried a color to make stripes before, I do show you how step by step with the top-down camera, and I'm 100% certain that you'll be able to do it no problem. Everything is always a little bit intimidating the first time we do it, but I'm sure you can do it. You can make this hat, and let's get started and go make ourselves a hat. So to begin, we are going to need two different colors of yarn. I'm using Lion Brand Heartland yarn in the colors Glacier Bay and Smoky Mountains. The names even kind of seem to go together, don't they? And we will need our 6mm J hook, our 5mm H hook, some scissors, and our yarn needle. So to begin, we are going to chain with our J hook 49 stitches. So we'll make our slip stitch, slip knot, I'm sorry, just like that. One more time. So we have our yarn, we make a loop around, put that behind the loop, and then pick up that tail. So 49, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, and we will switch to our 5mm H hook. So then for row 1, we are going to do 36 single crochets in the dash space in the back of our chain. So if you can see, the front of our chain has V's and the back has dashes. So we will skip the first dash and then single crochet (36) in that back dash. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, oops, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. My yarn is squeaky. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, and now we are going to change colors. This is the crown end of our hat, and we still have to do our 36th stitch, and then we should have 12 chains after that. So we should have 13 left. So let's just count, make sure we're right. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. So we're right. What we need to do is leave our old color on the back side, because with our new color we're going to go down and back. So when we come back, if we leave it on the back side, it will be in the right place when we come back. So we're going to go through that 36th stitch, yarn over and pull through, leave this yarn on the back, and then we'll take our new color and yarn over and pull through. Now every single row, these are going to be loose. So we're going to be constantly, well, not constantly, but when we get to them, pulling those ends a little bit tighter just to keep everything tight there. It loosens up really easy, both colors, the whole time you're making it, but it's really not that bad. But so now what we're going to do is chain 1 with our new color and turn, and we will crochet 35 in the back loop and then our 36th stitch through both loops at the brim edge of our hat. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, oops, we don't want to split our yarn, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, and for our last stitch we go through both loops instead of just the back loop. That will make the edge of our hat straight. You can go through just the back loop, but then your edge will end up scalloped or bumpy instead of nice and straight. So it's up to you what look you're going for. I like to make it straight and go through both loops on the last stitch. So also, if you notice, so our first row was 36, and then when we went back, it was 35 and then 1. But if you just remember to go through both loops, you can go 36, 36, and then our next two rows are 38, 38, and then 40, 40. So it's pretty easy to keep track of where you go. So in sets of 2, the rows increase by 2 every 2 rows. They increase by 2 stitches. So now we are going to chain 1 and turn, and we will do 38 stitches in the back loop only, and I will show you how we pick up our other color when we get down to that end. So one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, need more yarn, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, and now we're going to pass a turning chain. So every time we pass a turning chain from the 2 rows before, we're going to pick it up And this will make it so we don't end up with like a little hole in this spot. And then let me get this little tail out of the way. So we're through that turning chain, and this is a little bit confusing, but we're going to do this every time we pass a turning chain and we're getting ready to chain colors. We want to take this old color, and in the next stitch we need to crochet through the stitch and around that color. So we're going to go through the next chain, but also make sure that we have our other color over top of it, that we're crocheting around it. And then we go through all 3 loops. Now that was 37, and now for 38 we're not going to go around our new color. We're going to start our 38th stitch through this chain, yarn over and pull through with our old color and leave it on the back, and then pick up our new color and yarn over and pull through. So now our yarn is hidden, that we carried, you know, 1 stitch, and we have also switched our colors. And all right, there we go. I'm trying to prevent tangling at this point rather than untangling later. All right, so that was 38. That was our row 3. So now we are going to chain 1, turn, and go 38 stitches back. So 37 in the back loop only, and 1 through both loops at the brim edge of our hat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Some more yarn. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, oops, I split my yarn. We're going to do that one again. 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, and then 38 is through both loops. Yarn over and pull through. And then chain 1 and turn. So row 5, We will crochet 40 in the back loop only. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. Now we're by that turning chain from 2 rows before. And like I said, right in here is going to keep getting loose on you. So we're going to pick up that turning chain, and we're also going to knot our tail, but our other color's working yarn. When we go through this next stitch, 39, we want to also go around that working yarn of the other color to carry it 1 stitch. So pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3, and then leave that working yarn out and start our 40th stitch with our current color, and then pick up our other color and yarn over and pull through. So, and then our old color, the working yarn, just kind of, give that a little pull to tighten that up. And like I said, it's going to keep loosening until, just like this color was, until we pick it up and actually chain 1, turn, and start working again. And that's what will hold it nice and tight. So we're going to chain 1 and turn. And now we're on row 6, which is 39 in the back loops and then 40 through both loops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, and 40 is going through both loops. Chain 1 and turn. And now we are on row 7, which is 42 stitches in the back loop only. 1, 2, 3, oops, sorry, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. Now we're by that last row's turning chain, so we're going to pick it up, and then we're going to go through our next chain, 41, and also carry our other color over that chain, so we're working around both. And then 42, we're going to start our stitch, yarn over, pull through, and then leave that color and finish our stitch with our new color. And just remember, it's going to be a little bit loose until we come back and pick it up again. So we'll chain 1 and turn. And now we are on row 8. Which is 41 single crochets in the back loop only on the 42nd in both loops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, oops, and through both loops, 42, that's how that's looking, chain 1 and turn. And I need more yarn. All right, and row 9 is 44 single crochet in the back loop only. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, and now we're passing that turning chain from the 2 rows before, and then there's our old working yarn. See how it's loose, so we'll just tighten that up a little. But first we'll pick up that chain, and then we'll go through the next stitch and also carry our old working yarn, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through all 3, put that old yarn in the back. With our current yarn, we'll go through the next stitch. It's our 44th, yarn over, pull through, but we'll finish the stitch with the new color. Just like that. And then we'll chain 1 and turn. Now we're on row 10. So that's 43 single crochet in the back loop only, and our 44th stitch through both loops. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, and then through both loops, 44. Chain 1 and turn. So our 11th row is 46 single crochet in the back loop only. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, and we are at that turning chain from the previous 2 rows, so we'll pick it up and go through the next stitch. And also we want to hide our working yarn of our old color. So yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3, and then leave that old color, or yeah, behind there, and then start our 46th stitch. So we'll go through that chain, yarn over with our current color, then drop it, pick up our new color, yarn over, pull through. So then we will chain 1 and turn. So our 12th row, right? Yes, is 45 single crochet in the back loop, and then 1 single crochet through both loops. So 46 total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, and our 46th stitch through both loops. 46, chain 1 and turn. Row 13 is 48 stitches in the back loop only. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46. Now we're passing that turning chain, so we're going to pick it up, go through the next chain, so that's 47. Make sure we're going around that old yarn too to carry it for the next stitch. There's 47. Yarn over, pull through all 3, and leave that new yarn in the back now. And go through our 48th chain, yarn over with the old color, yarn over with the new color, and pull through. Chain 1, and turn. Now this row, your last row of the 14 repeating rows, what we need to do is carry our old yarn down 12 stitches. So our first row, we went up 36 stitches, and then this row we went up 48, and we're going to go back 48. So there's a difference of 12. So after we do this 14th row and we start these rows again, we're only going to, with the next color, go up 36 stitches and then change colors again. So we need to get our gray down where we can pick it up. So 12 stitches down, if I'm making sense. I hope I'm making sense. But so we have our blue color on the hook, or our current color. So we don't want the tail. What we want is the working yarn. So what we want to do is take the working yarn of the color that we're not using and crochet around it for 12 stitches to get it back where it needs to be when we need it. So we'll go through that back loop only, and this row is 47 back loop only, 48 in both loops, but we'll go through that back loop only and make sure that we're also going around our old color. So 1. So just carry this old color inside these stitches for 12 stitches. And it doesn't matter how loose it is, just as long as you don't split the yarn, you can tighten it a little bit after. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, like I said, we're only going through the back loop, and we're just holding that working yarn of the other color just kind of over top of it, so we're going around it also. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, so then what we want to do is bring this yarn to the front so that it's on the right side when we need it. And this is the only time that we'll bring that tail to the front, is on our, when we carry it down those 12 stitches on our 14th row. Well, every time we repeat the 14th row also. So we've got 12 and we need 48. So 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, and then our 48th stitch is going through both loops. 48, chain 1 and turn. So we're going to look where we carried that yarn, and see, I have a little bit sticking out there. If you just give it a little pull and then give this a little pull. If I didn't show you that, good. See, just pull that tail that working yarn that we carried down those 12 stitches, and then pull your work so that it's not too tight, and it hides in there pretty nice. So normally I would say, now repeat this 5 times and I'll see you back here to sew it up. But since we carried this yarn and then brought it to the front of our work, turned our work, so now it's on the back, I will go over the next row with you again, just to show you how it'll be when you start those 14 rows over. So now we're back on row 1, and we will do 36 single crochet in the back loop only. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, and now we're going to change our colors. So here's our yarn that we brought down 12 stitches right here. So you can count those again if you want, but 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Wait. We should have 13 here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, and we do. So for a 36 stitch, we're going to go through that back loop, yarn over and pull through, and then leave it on the back and pick up our other color, so our new color. Yarn over and pull through, and then chain 1 and turn. So then you'll just work back the 35 plus 1 for 36 total in the gray, and then, and so on. So that's our 14 rows plus our first row again. And what we want to do is those 14 rows a total of 6 times. So 5 more times after the 14 we did together. And for a total of 84 rows. And I will see you back here so that we can sew up our hat. All right, so we finished our 6 sections. So at the end, you want to just chain 1 and then cut a long tail to sew up your hat. Probably a good 20, 24 inches. It's better to have too much than too little. And we'll just pull that right through that chain stitch. And now what you want to do is also cut your other color. And now on the very last row, if you did carry your yarn down, that's fine. And if you just left it at the top, that's also fine. But so we have 3 little ends here to weave in before we sew up our hat. So you can tell the inside of the hat because it has these little pieces of yarn that go across. So those are not on the outside. They're only on the inside. So I recommend weaving in your ends on the inside of your hat where it won't show if it's not, perfect. So now what we want to do is take our hat and here's the inside with those pieces of yarn going across. So, and you have your starting chain on the right and your last row on the left, and then bring them together. So now the right side of our hat is out. And what I like to do is first pick up that turning chain from our starting chain. We'll go through there. And then I like to go through the turning chain on our last row. And then we'll start sewing up the hat. So we're going to go through, we're whip stitching. We're going to go through both loops of the chain and the back loop of the stitch. Both loops of the chain and the back loop of the stitch. We're going to do that all the way up the hat. Both loops of the chain, back loop of the stitch. And now about every 5 or 6 stitches, I like to hold this end so that you don't pull too far, but then pull that stitching tight. That looks pretty good. And now we will close the hole in the crown. So what I like to do is you have 6 sections. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I like to pick up the turning chain for each of those sections. And pull that tight. And then I like to go through the last stitch of those 6 longest rows, the rows that go right to the center of the crown. So this one, I go right through that stitch. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so we go through those and pull that tight. And now that makes the crown look really nice. I'll go through the first one more time. Oops. So that's what that looks like. And then we'll go down through the center to the inside of the hat and weave that end in. I'm going to cut my end a little shorter because I don't need that much length to weave in the end. And just make it a little easier for myself. And we'll turn our hat back right side out, and now there's our seam. It does show a little bit, so that row's a bit wider than the other ones, but so that'll be the back. And we'll fold up our brim. Little piece of dust. And there we go. We just made ourselves a hat. Good job, guys. So, yay, we did it. We made our hat. And it is time for our test fit. Yeah, not too bad. So if you want to make this hat wider or narrower, if you want to make it wider, just chain 2 extra when you start and add a 15th and 16th row, which would have 50 single crochet stitches in them. And if you want to make it narrower, chain 2 less. So you would chain 47 and skip rows 13 and 14 and just do rows 1 through 12 6 times, and that'll make your hat narrower. Now, if you do change the width of your hat, so if you make your hat narrower, the brim might fold up more, and that might not bother you. And if you make it wider, it might fold up less, so you might have less of a folded up brim, and that might not bother you. But if it does bother you, then just make another hat and add a few stitches. You know, you can judge based on when you try it on how much more you want your hat to fold up, and add a few more stitches, you know, 2, 4, 6, whatever, to this edge of the hat. And you can adjust it to fit any size that you'd like. Now it's not, I don't personally swatch, because every hat you make, it's going to fit somebody and somebody's going to love it. Now, when I'm working on making a hat pattern, sometimes I'll be happy with the results after 3 tries. And I'll have like 3 hats, and then that'll be how I make that hat forever after the 3rd try. Sometimes it takes a dozen, but yeah, it's just, making hats is fun, so it's never a waste, and you can use a different color with every single try, and colors are fun. So enjoy making hats, and thank you for making this hat with me today, and I will see you next time. Bye.